Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Medical Classes by Dr. Srinidhi Kumar Acharya. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also please give your valuable comments. You can also visit the playlist. In the playlist, I have provided almost all the topics in a very systematic order, and this is quite convenient for the study. I hope you make use of it. Thank you very much. My dear friends, as we are discussing about the rickets, so the basic parts related to the rickets, vitamin D metabolism, vitamin D production and its storage, and various aspects of vitamin D metabolism and its functions, etc. we have dealt in last few classes with almost all the basic information. So today onwards we will look into the subject directly, that is rickets. Now by the time we know that ricket is a disease of growing end of the bone, which is very common in the early part of the infancy. It begins in the early part of the infancy, manifests almost all after completion of the infancy and all. And basically it is because of vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D deficiency leads to decreased absorption of calcium and as well as phosphorus. So this is how the pathology goes, and in the limelight always there is vitamin D. If vitamin D in the active form it is available, then there will be no any problem related to calcium and phosphorus absorption. So now this vitamin D deficiency leads to rickets. Now we shall see the different types of the rickets now. Now basically, what are the causes of rickets? Now particularly we will see the causes of rickets. So any of the vitamin D related disorders, okay, vitamin D production has been affected. So any such disorders leads to rickets, no doubt, because vitamin D will be deficient. Second is any calcium deficiency, maybe because of vitamin D deficiency or maybe because of some other dietary causes and all. If there is calcium deficiency is there, that also leads to the rickets. That means active form of the vitamin D is there, but through the diet you are taking very less amount of the calcium, or there is some problem is there for the calcium absorption or some other factors, etc. So that may also lead to the rickets. Similarly the case with the phosphorus deficiency. And one more is renal tubular acidosis. That means we know that vitamin D formation and calcium absorption, so renal system plays a very important role. PCT, proximal convoluted tubule area, plays a very important role. So if the renal tubular acidosis is there, conducive environment is not there in the renal area for the production of the vitamin D and also for the absorption of the calcium from the urine and also for the absorption of phosphorus from the urine, if it is not there, not happening, then also it may lead to the problem. So this is also one of the basic cause, renal tubular acidosis. Third one is chronic kidney disease, almost all same. Even in the chronic kidney disease also renal function shut down gradually, and also this function of vitamin D production and as well as absorption of the calcium and phosphorus also gets shut down, and that will be one of the major cause. Fluorosis, yes, fluorosis is also one of the major cause for the rickets, so that we will see. Now the first we will see vitamin D deficiency, how the vitamin D deficiency leads to the formation of or manifestation of rickets. Now vitamin D deficiency may occur because of various causes. First we will see vitamin D deficiency due to nutritional deficiency. Nutritional dietetic problem is there, because of which vitamin D deficiency is happening. Now nutritional, if you see, it is seen in the breastfed child with less exposure to sun. Nutritional deficiency of vitamin D leading to infantile rickets is most commonly seen in the breastfed baby, okay, with less exposure to sun. Now usually a breast milk contains comparatively less amount of vitamin D, okay, compared to the cow's milk and all. It contains less amount of vitamin D, or you can say no vitamin D. And the meantime, if that child is not exposed to the sunlight periodically, so then definitely it may lead to the nutritional rickets, because that's one of the major cause. In the breast milk, the concentration of the vitamin D is about 40 to 60 international units per liter, while the required vitamin D for a growing baby per day is about 200 to 400 international units. Okay, So nowadays, therefore, we are always prescribing the vitamin D drops for every newborn. The reason is breast milk concentration of the vitamin D is only 40 to 60%, but it is sufficient actually. Actually, it is sufficient to if the baby is exposed to sunlight periodically, daily. If the baby is exposed to sunlight. So in so many other geographical conditions and so many other working conditions, this is not quite possible. So therefore, to prevent all such problems related to vitamin D, later rickets and all, so nowadays compulsorily we are giving vitamin D drops for the newborn baby. 1 ml vitamin D drops every day for the newborn babies to prevent, because this has got long term problems. Therefore, for the prevention purpose, we are giving it. Now we have to supplement the vitamin D to such a child. Proper sun exposure should be there. If the sun exposure is there, no problem. It is quite okay. At least 20 centimeter square surface area of the baby's skin should be exposed to sunlight for at least 20 minutes per day. This is a recommendation. So how much sun exposure is required? 20 centimeter square surface of the area of the baby's skin should be exposed to sunlight for at least 20 minutes per day. Okay. So room where the baby is kept should have the windows with the sunlight coming in. So what you have to do is, at least you have to ensure only one thing, that is the baby nursed, the room where the baby is nursed or kept. So that room should have a window through which the sunlight is coming. If you provide this much of facility, so this is quite sufficient to prevent the vitamin D if the mother is giving exclusive breastfeeding. Otherwise, if you think that this is not possible due to various reasons, yes, it is compulsory to go for vitamin D drops. Second important cause of rickets in children is congenital vitamin D deficiency. First one is nutritional vitamin D deficiency. Second one is congenital vitamin D deficiency. This is seen in severe maternal D deficiency. Is there? Suppose a mother is suffering from severe vitamin D deficiency, then even the baby will have the same problem. So therefore, vitamin D is deposited in the fetus during the third trimester. And if the mother is there with a severe vitamin D deficiency, then there will be deficiency in the baby also. Now, sufficient amount of the vitamin D, because vitamin D is one of the storage vitamin, isn't it? So during the third trimester of the pregnancy, usually what happens, enough amount of the vitamin D from the mother's body will be deposited in the fetal body. Now, if the mother is already having some severe congenital vitamin D deficiency, where in her body itself there is no vitamin D, then this vitamin D coming and depositing in the body of the fetus is quite impossible. So such babies will badly suffer. So this is called as congenital vitamin D deficiency. Even the babies born with the low birth weight, or even the babies born with the prematurity, will also have this problem. The reason is, prematurity means, you know that in the third trimester, that means in the 8th month or 7th month itself, if the delivery is taking place. And just we have learned that the third trimester itself, the vitamin will go to deposit in the fetal body. And if the baby is delivered earlier, we are giving less time for the deposition of the vitamin D in the fetal body. So such babies will also definitely have some vitamin D related problems. So that baby should be also supplemented with the vitamin D. So this is about congenital vitamin D deficiency. Now comes the next one, that is secondary vitamin D deficiency. So what do you mean by secondary vitamin D deficiency? So that means if the child is having some malabsorption syndrome, if the child is having some liver disorders, if the child is having some GIT disorders like celiac disease, or if the child is having exposed to certain drugs which overutilize and degrade the vitamin D like phenytoin, rifampicin, etc. So that may lead to the secondary vitamin D deficiency. Now we know that malabsorption syndrome may lead to vitamin D deficiency because the absorption of the vitamin D, so which is taking place in the intestine, so that will not, the precursors will not be formed. Then like EDK, basically it is a fat soluble vitamins, isn't it? So there will not be enough storage. There is no absorption from the gut and there is no storage either in the liver or either beneath the skin. The precursors are not properly stored, and that may lead to vitamin D deficiency. Liver disorders, we know that whatever diet from the diet and etc. you will take from sunlight, whatever vitamin D is formed, so that change is happening in the liver. If the liver itself is diseased, the storage form of the vitamin D is not formed. GIT disorder like celiac disease, same again, the absorption related problem. If there is kidney related problem, again, okay, that also comes under the secondary vitamin D deficiency. Sometimes enzyme deficiencies may be there. 1-alpha hydroxylase enzyme, which is very important for the formation of the active form of the vitamin D. So if it is congenital or hereditarily it is absent, so that may lead to this, and that will we were discussing under resistant rickets or refractory rickets. So anyway, that can be also counted in the secondary vitamin D deficiency. So this is the one thing. Now, now for the convenience of the study, we basically divide vitamin D deficiency into two types. One is vitamin D dependent rickets, another one is vitamin D non-dependent rickets. The vitamin D non-dependent rickets are also called as vitamin D resistant rickets or refractory rickets. Okay, so that we will see. So this we will see in the next class. Thank you very much.